Hello everybody, Travis here for Tpull's Corner, and I've got a new deck. I call it Warded Humans. I went back to the beginning of our current rotation, so to speak, back to Innistrad, and we have Midnight's Hunt and we have Crimson Vow, and I basically I restricted myself to those two expansions except for the lands. So you can see I have a Restless Fortress from Eldraine. But the creatures, I have a lot of creatures, and they're all from Innistrad. And this is sort of continuing what I did a couple days ago. I wanted to go back with all of the new expansions that have come out recently. This is kind of new for us because they delayed the standard rotation. And Wizards said, okay, we hear you. You guys want to use your cards longer. You want them to last longer in the existing format. You want to get more value out of them. So we listened, and we're going to let you do that. But we don't know how long they were deliberating that. We don't know how long ahead they planned on this. So the odds are that they did not have Ixalan in mind when they were making Innistrad. Does that affect the environment? If we go back and we use these early cards, and everybody's using the Eldraine and Ixalan stuff, is there a way to get under their radar, so to speak? Now we're going to cast on-curve Mythic Rare Planeswalkers.
Break free and fight!
Okay, let's see. They can use that to create a copy of an artifact. They can sacrifice that. They can use that for 3 colors. There's all this stuff they can do. We'll go after the Planeswalker, but they still have 1 loyalty point left.
I am not dead yet.
You know, you're not looking good either. If they plus up and they block with a land they turn into a tree, I'd be willing to trade my Dawnguard as they'd still get the other 2 through, and we'd be able to get rid of the Planeswalker at least. My issue with this one is it can actually make it a hexproof land. It's a little bit better than the old days, so to speak. The old days, if you had a Planeswalker that could do a +1, they could turn it into a 3/3 land. It would usually have Vigilance or Haste. Maybe Vigilance and Haste. There's been this power creep. Here we're up to March of the Machines, and it's got Hexproof along with Vigilance and Haste.
Stamp. Search past the walls of this realm.
There's a mainland. They've got a lot of non-basic lands in here, don't they? And I'm gonna keep my Field of Ruin in my hip pocket. Right? No. Let's bring it down now. We'll use it to power up this. Auto pay? Oh no. Because I don't have a black land source. Okay, so we're just gonna hit for 5 points. And we'll leave it at that. Let's see. I can reveal a creature with mana value 3 or less from the Gavany Dawnguard. If I decline, it's, my deck still shuffles, right? So, yeah. I'll have to take that. It's not the worst thing in the world to have.
Phyrexia is the multiverse's synthetic destiny.
Do they dig into the graveyard? They're going to tap the 1. Okay.
You do not write this story.
Okay, we are going to get rid of the thing that they can convert into a creature now, and you'll get our black source for land. Hello. They didn't want to wait for that. We had an easy way to take out their Planeswalker with our attackers, and I had the option of either attacking with Restless Fortress, or I was probably going to bring down Graveyard Trespasser and start exiling their library, or their graveyard, because this little puppy, if it survived, they can get into their graveyard, and maybe bring their land back and stuff like that, maybe bring back a Planeswalker. We don't want any of that, so yeah, Graveyard Trespasser was a good card to have in this deck. Alright, we will take you in and show you the whole thing. For new players, new viewers, please like and subscribe. And for those who don't know yet, I've got a poll up on the community page. I created the post-its for all of this month. You can vote on if I open the videos this way like I always do with a battle, going straight into a match and then showing off the deck. Or if you prefer the deck tech first, you can vote for that. And with the new year, I will follow majority vote, and I will set it up however the mass majority of you have your preference. Okay, so we've got not a lot of removal. Okay, I've got 3 copies of Fierce Retribution. That's to destroy a target attacking creature, basically. There's another card that costs 3 that you can destroy target attacking creature. This one has the added cleave cost in it of 6, so just to destroy target creature. I feel like I have to go with this version of the spell because of things like Shieldred, where people get lazy, they just put Shieldred down. They never attack with it, they just want that to win the battle for them. So whenever I have a choice between destroy target attacking creature or this card with the first retribution with the cleave cost, I always choose the cleave cost because it gives a little bit of added flexibility later on in the game. I just need enough energy to do it. Okay, the rest of this is basically a bunch of Innistrad from both Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt, and it's all ward cost. So I've got Chaplain of Alms, First Strike and Ward 1. You can bring it back with Disturb, bring a Flying First Striker that's a 2/1, and each creature you have has Ward 1. We have 4 Brutal Cathars, and it can exile an opponent's creature, right? But when it turns to night, they have a ward cost of the werewolf form that pay 3 life. So if they want to target this with any kind of spell, they have to pay 3 life. We've got 1 copy of Cathar's Call that we can enchant a creature and at the beginning of your end step create a 1/1 white human creature token. That's paired with Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Whenever she attacks, you can create a 1/1 white human creature token. And the reason why I have those is because I have 3 copies of Jaren Corrupted Bishop. Whenever he enters the battlefield, or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life and you create a white human creature token. And then for 2, any target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn. So if I get Adeline or Cathar's Call down, and I have Jaren around, I can give any of them lifelink that I want. I just need the extra mana, and I can sort of move it around wherever it makes sense. If I think that maybe they're going to remove something like Adeline, I don't put the lifelink on Adeline, right? Maybe I wait until they've cast a removal spell, and then whatever target human is left, I'll give lifelink. But the point is, at some point, if we can, we want to try and get down to exactly 13 life. Then we can pay 6 mana and transform Jaren into this Ormondal the Corruptor you see to the right, a 6/6 Flying Trample lifelink demon. I've done it before with another deck. It doesn't happen often, so it's just kind of like a fun secondary option. It's like a mini game within the game that I try and do sometimes. I'll throw Jaren into a deck and try and see if I can transform him, just because it's kind of difficult in certain ways. We have Hamlet Vanguard, 4 copies. It's only a 1/1. It has Ward 2, but it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each other non-token human you control. So all the token humans that I'm creating, that's not going to help. But you know, Adeline is human, the Chaplain of Alms are all human, and Jaren himself is human. So we do have a lot of humans, and the Burly Breaker is a human werewolf as well. So, you know, it could be a little bit better, but regardless, it has Ward 2, so it fits. I've got one copy of Celestis. I mean, it's from Innistrad, but I usually have a copy of Celestis in my decks anyway, just for if we flood out with land to go ahead and throw the land away and dig in deeper to our deck. The Burly Breaker, 4 copies of that. This is my, I guess you'd call it a bomb. It's only 5 mana, but it's a 6/5 that can turn into an 8/7, and the ward increases from day to night from Ward 1 to Ward 3. For specialty lands, we have 2 Agajos, we've got 2 Besiege Who Endures, we've got 1 Restless Forest, and 1 Restless Cottage, as well as 2 Field of Runes. So that's the idea. It's a ward-centric deck. I've done this before with black and red, and it worked out really well. I still have that deck. I didn't export that deck and get rid of it. I keep that deck and I play with it every now and then. And I don't have a lot of 1-drops. I usually skip the 1-drop phase in a lot of my decks. I've got 4 here, and then a lot of 2-drops. So hopefully, I've got my mana curve situated just right for the current environment, that I won't get swarmed. It's very unusual to get 2 of those removal spells up front and not have to need to use them during the course of the match. But here, everything's expensive. So we'll see what happens here. Ouch. That was fast. Yeah, hello. Hello, come on over and kick my butt. Yeah, soldier deck. Okay. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble already, aren't we? Multiple colors, and they've already got access to 3 different colors, basically. Look at how fast they got everything assembled. I'm nearly dead. I mean, they might just have a lightning blast. Let's see if we can slow down at least the 2/2s. Perfect land draw. Didn't miss the land draw, got all 3 colors that I want. Hit me for 5 points of damage. I guess we take another one of those. And what's left for us to do? I think I have to get rid of this thing. But that gives them yet another land. They're so far ahead. They're being so nice to me by saying it's nice. You're much too nice. I can't do anything else. Still not enough land. We go to 6. Just another big creature. And they start pumping up their other one. And they know I can't attack. Okay, I do have a Fierce Retribution at least. Okay. Do I do this? It's nighttime, right? So it's going to have Ward 3. I don't have the second green mana. Okay, so we bring out another one. Pass the turn, and I have to rely on Fierce Retribution to kill the Platoon Dispenser. And I may have to double block Warden of the Inner Sky. They might be willing to board walk. Oh, no. No. Just when you think, oh, that has Ward too. Okay, so I've got to double block this because they could tap stuff right now, right? They don't do that, so they just trade with a 3/3. And now they don't even need to attack with that one. I don't even have, there's a swamp there, but still no green. I'm so dead. Okay, so I got a +2 because I had the Dawn Guard. So for 3, I got a 3/3 that has Ward. It does not matter. Look at all the soldier tokens they got. That's how you do it. Okay, so... get rid of that one, I guess? They just get another token soldier out of it. We'll just do that. They got me. I don't have any wood I can use that because I want creature heavy. I have like 31 creatures in here. And maybe I need to fix the land because this is a tough deck because it's white, black, and green. And those are not like the Streets of New Capenna tri-lands. They don't help me. I could go ahead and try for a little bit more with the mixing of the white and black real quick. So bear with me because I am playtesting as I go. So you get to see some of the fresh process, the very bare minimal removal. And let's go look for lands. I want to do it this way. Thank you. And we want fewer. There we are. Okay. Let's do a couple green. And yes, it doesn't really work for black and white, does it? Is it going to be 2 or more? Yeah, 2 or more. Okay, so we'll get rid of a couple of more planes, add in a couple of shattered sanctums, and let's go ahead and use one of the Expel the Interlopers cards, because here's what I've got. I've got 31 creatures. And it's a little bit tough, so I will go ahead and go down 1 Burly Breaker, since that's my bomb. And this is basically how I start things off. I try and see how little removal I can get away with in the current environment, and I add in 1 after each time I get my butt kicked. So we might end up with 4 copies of Expel the Interlopers in the final deck list before I'm done. I'm also getting uncertain how much I can keep up this daily pace, just because I went for a walk around the block tonight. It was cold and it was windy, and my allergies started to get to me. So I don't know if my throat's even going to be working tomorrow. So if I disappear for 2 or 3 days this December, it's probably because I can't talk. When the weather starts changing like this, I can really get hit bad. Already with a Cathar. I don't really have a 2-drop, so I'll put the tap land out. They know they're going to get a free hit off of that. And are they not going to cast a spell? They do, okay.
Get in now. What do we have here?
Alright, but I don't want them to bring the underdog back from the graveyard all the time, so we'll get rid of it now. Okay. That didn't last long.
I know something you don't know.
They discard another underdog, so they've already got another one ready waiting in the wings. I should be safe to put this down. And we get rid of the underdog. And I think I hold on to a Ganjo. I'm going to put down the Celestis and use the Ganjo against attackers. 2 mythic rare planeswalkers off the bat.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
That is so tough.
I've always hated crowds.
Now I'm kind of forced to go ahead and put down the creatures.
Thanks.
To try and get it.
I'll be
Liliana.
taking that now.
And I wanted land drops, and I'm not getting my land. But I need other land. Just putting down a Ganjo itself is going to lose a Ganjo, and I don't need just one more land. I need a lot more land right now. Opponent didn't miss a land drop at all. Serves us right for winning our first battle. And this happens a lot with the Liliana decks, where they got just a couple of removal spells and they can plus up Liliana and then make me sacrifice another creature.
Now this is a juicy secret. You won't be outsmarting me.
Look. It's a duplicate mythic rare planeswalker. They're just getting everything they need. Okay, so we'll put down a 1/1. Maybe they won't make us sacrifice it. They can get the emblem already. Yeah, we're so far
there
behind.
will be a next time. What's
Against
the
stuff
matter?
that's basically
Feeling
just a 3-cost
overwhelmed?
deck. You got 1, 2, 3. There's not much we can do about this. Look at they got their own trespasser. All right, we're just absolutely done. When you see 3 mythic rare planeswalkers, you kind of know you're outclassed. We did not prepare for the planeswalkers. Well, we might have been able to handle the planeswalkers if I'd gotten a couple more good land drops. It's really gotten to a point where you need to be able to match your opponent in the land drops, just to stay abreast, so to speak. And now we get 3 right at the beginning. Wizards apologizes. Okay, it's not going to land starve me this time. That's the pattern. Any day now. I'm not in ranked, am I? Are we actually going to come up against mono red? Guess so. Bring it on. We usually expect... We're not frozen or anything. We're just waiting on our opponent, who's mono red. They've got 3 lands. It can't be that difficult to figure out what to do. It's all standard stuff. This isn't new. This is very, very familiar deck at this point. Okay. going to discard anything. I just need Fierce Retribution out to at least get rid of one of these. Yeah, let's get rid of the 3/3 Trampler. Alright. We will bring down the Breaker. It's got Ward 1, so they shouldn't have enough to kill it. They don't care. They think they can get me just with what they've got. That prevents another 2/2 haster. I can't really use Brutal Cathar that much in this environment. We're just waiting on them to go find a basic mountain. If they get removal, the second I put Brutal Cathar down, they get their creature back and it'll have haste. So that does me no good. So we're going to pass. We'll flip tonight. That little bit of life gain is saving my butt. Ouch. Another life gain. Okay. Let's put this down. Let's put this down. And let's put this on the Burly Breaker. If they don't have a flyer, we might be okay. We take action. Oh, good. We have 2 first strikers now. We're gonna flip, right? Bingo. And we'll decline. We'll just take the life, so a Lightning Blast alone isn't gonna get us now. They didn't want to wait for us to try and attack. We beat Mono Red! And what do we use? 1 removal card? Not too shabby. I don't have to add in another board wipe just yet. And that's what happens when you get a couple of land cards for a change. Mastery, excellent. Every once in a while when I get those mastery tokens, I'll go ahead and go over to the mastery page and fill them in. I figure it's just a little extra treat for people to see that maybe are newer to the game. But go ahead and leave me a comment if that's too much of a distraction for you, if you don't mind, if you like it. I'm used to doing it, but I don't do it all the time. If y'all have enough time to play the game on a daily basis, you should be climbing the mastery yourself. You should be kind of familiar with that map and filling that stuff in and getting the alternate art for the cards. But some people still like to see it, so that's another one of those things like deciding if I do the battle first or if I do the deck tech first. I'm kind of willing to leave it up to you to show you what you want to see. Because this is my hobby and I'm just going to be here playing regardless. I can put out Chaplain of Alms now. Might as well do it. Three colors, eh? At least. Okay, let's see. Vampire Tribal, probably. I don't have a 2-drop spell, right? That comes in tap no matter what. I think we just stay on defense for now. They're willing to sit and wait. Let's try a Jaren. They get rid of... Wow! They get rid of my 1/1 with a 3 blot out? What in the world is going on? Why would you do that? They should be afraid of Adeline. Yes, they are. They know I have it. Let's use it. Oh, wow. That was unexpected. They had to have some removal, right? That was such a good start, but why would they do that for a 1/1? They could have done that on the Cathar or Jaren and did better. That's confusing. I mean, I'm assuming that they had a second removal spell and that they just figured they had time and they had, you know, hey, I can spare it, why not? If you remove one and you make me discard Adeline, would you scoop like that? I encounter that a lot sometimes. I'm mystified. It's so early in the game. And people just do not want to try and deal, and they seem like they're doing just fine. I mean, I had one land left in my hand I was going to put down. I was going to be just about out of ammo. And resorting to top decks and just leave them to deal with what I had in the field. Okay, so those are gonna... I'm gonna say they saw my screen name and they were intimidated? They didn't even mulligan to see if it was, like, land starvation. Yeah, and I didn't get to show them the deck, so it's not like they're afraid of the deck. I did mention this is starting to happen to me a lot, right? Okay, this one won't scoop, right? Jiggy Joggy Jaboo. They got too much of a sense of humor already to quit early. Let's see. Normally, when I get to this many rounds, I quit, but the scoops are so fast. We'll just keep going. We'll give you at least one more here. Hot Admire. Do I use the Field of Rune on that? Because I do need to get white mana source. What is this? Sunken Citadel. Let's start with Jaren, actually, before we do anything else. What color do you need next? You've got 3 colors to access already. 4-color deck? Got me already. Alright, I do need the planes. Let's go ahead and get rid of Sunken Citadel. That lets me bring down the Chaplain of Alms. And I'm going to have to reserve Besieger Who Endures to take out the Virtue when we get that out. They're not going to miss a land drop, so... That's where we're gonna be. Ah. Power and toughness equal to the number of creatures in graveyards. That means we want you. And I can attack with the little 1/1 all I want, because you have to block that. Get rid of. Nice. Discard half. All right. Oh, they're just getting everything they want. Look at this. Mythic rare, mythic rare, mythic rare. We are being punished now. It was like Arena used us to punish the others. They were probably being land starved or something for those 2 quick scoops. And now, because the algorithm registered that I won 2 easy victories, mythic rare, mythic rare, mythic rare. It's just an embarrassment of riches. And what do I have? I have 1 more Graveyard Trespasser. Okay. Graveyard Trespasser doesn't do anything upon entry in the battlefield because of Elish Norn. They're still not bringing out the Virtue of Persistence after all of this. They've kind of got time on their side, don't they? They can just pump everything up. Thank you, Arena. Choose an online card. Your opponent won't be able to cast the card you choose. You can't cast my Adeline. You get your Invasion of Zendikar. Does that mean you have to put up with Achali and Atraxa next? Like these mythic rares weren't enough? They should be pumping up Elish Norn at this point. This is already on the stack, right? So I can't really stop it? sure there's nothing in the graveyard to bring back. They don't block it. Okay, that means these have 3 life for ward cost each. They just have another Elish Norn. Of course you do. I got rid of Elish Norn. Arena just serves you up another Elish Norn, which conveniently is too tough for me to take care of. And now, what do I have in the graveyard that you can bring back? I have a Jaren, and I have a Gavany Donbar, and I have a Burly Breaker. Okay, these I can take out these, but I think they just want to bring them back with their enchantment. They were able to hold on to that for so long. Okay, I get that at least. Okay, not much choice. We gotta do this. Okay, make sure you can't bring back your own stuff. Now they get to bring back something from my neck of the woods. But we did a good enough job. They need a real banger of a card, because otherwise I think we have lethal. That is not enough, is it? They knew it. They don't hang around. They could have blocked Adeline and one other. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I think I had just enough. I think I had just enough, and finally I was looking for the second Besieger to take out that Virtue of Persistence. I probably should have let them have their Gala Greeters. For some reason, I really hate exiling stuff out of my own graveyard, but I should have taken out the 2 creatures from my own graveyard and let them have their Gala Greeters. So, technically that was a misplay on my part. I should be much more willing to let them have their own 1/1 than my 6/5. But never punished. I still feel like Arena was giving them the cards that they wanted. I feel like we shouldn't have won that one. I was kind of in that one. Hang on, let me go in. We'll show you. We'll cut off the battles there. Let me go in and show you the deck. There was, I don't know how much choice I had on each time. I was most of the time, I was trying to trigger the transformation to night, so that my creatures here, the Brutal Cathars, would change to the Moonrage Brute, so I'd have that 3 life ward cost, so they wouldn't get removed. That was my main concern, and I think sometimes I didn't even have the choice. I think that was, I just had nothing in my hand anyway, so I couldn't really cast a good spell. So it was they were gonna transform anyway, but they kept playing so many spells each time and converting things back into day that all their creatures kept getting exiled. So I think that was on them. If they had just restrained themselves to 1 spell each turn, they would have been able to boost up their stuff, maybe keep their stuff. I wouldn't have been able to exile so many creatures. I think that was their constant misplays that allowed me to win that. But I've mentioned before, this happens when you're playing chess. You know, you could be facing a grandmaster who's, 100 points ahead of you, but if they slip up, if they make a mistake, you jump on it and you take advantage of their mistake and you win the game. That's what you do. So it's interesting to see, this deck is kind of more versatile than I thought. It's a little robust, right? We have, I don't know how much the ward really dissuaded things, because usually if the opponent had removal, they'd use it. But the configuration was enough to kind of help hold off a lot of good stuff. A lot of variety. We got rid of mono red. We got rid of, mythic rare stuff left and right. I like it. What do you guys think? Go ahead and leave me a comment. As always, like and subscribe, and I'll have something new for you next time. Again, remember, if you don't hear from me for a few days all of a sudden, it's just because allergies got to me, and I probably have like a cough or a sore throat or something. But as long as I'm around and have the time and am able to log on to my hobby and play each day, I'll be trying to put on a new deck for you. So thanks for everybody for tuning in. Have a good one.